أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum brothers and welcome to our lesson today. We ask Allah to give us the strength and energy to understand this beautiful language Arabic such that we are able to understand the Quran or also benefit from the importance of this beautiful language, right, which is the language of the Quran. So inshallah today we're going to start off lesson 8, and lesson 8 is a very important chapter. And to start with what I've done, I've got some learning objective things that we need to full understand in this lesson. And in this lesson there is something very, very important which is called al-badal. Okay, so inshallah we're going to start that. We're going to start with badal soon. So first of all, let's start off with looking at the learning objectives in this lesson. Okay, so I'm not going to go too much into detail with this one in terms of going through the examples. All right, what we're going to just focus on in this lesson, in the learning objectives, is to look at the things that are important to us. So number one is understand the difference between a phrase and a complete sentence using a demonstrative pronoun. All right, we have already looked at it already, right? For example, certain things are a phrase. What is a phrase and what's a sentence? So phrase, if you say, for example, fil bayti, by itself it does not make sense, right? But if you put it in a sentence, it makes sense. Yeah, Muhammadun fil bayti, Muhammad is in the house. Okay, so in this case we're going to understand the difference between a phrase and a complete sentence. What are the two things we need to make a complete sentence, brothers? Two things. Mubtada and khabar, mashallah, that's very good what you said. Mubtada and khabar are two basics to make a sentence. Okay, we're not going to look at the examples. We'll learn to use demonstrative pronouns with description. So for example, so far we have learned hada baytun, hada kitabun, right? Now we're going to say something more about the noun. Okay, maybe this is a new house. Okay, one of the examples could be what you call more examples. So look at this example. ذَلِكَ الرَّجُلُ مُهَنْدِسٌ. Okay, ذَلِكَ الرَّجُلُ مُهَنْدِسٌ. So we are so far used to ذَلِكَ رَجُلٌ, right? ذَلِكَ رَجُلٌ, that is a man. What is this alif and lam doing? Okay, so this is something we're going to learn in this lesson. هذه الساعة جميلة. This is this watch is beautiful. Okay, so now the mubtada khabar is still there, but we are introducing something new. So our alif and lam is coming here. Why is that coming? Is that something we're going to inshallah understand? So number 3, review that most Arabic nouns end in dhamma with the nominative case. All right, we know this already, don't we? Yeah, a nouns end with a dhamma. Kitabun, baytun. Yeah, al baytu jamilun. Okay, we know this one. Al baytu mubtada. This is dhamma, and then our khabar is also with a dhamma. So we know that it is what you call that's both mubtada and khabar. Yeah, learn the after preposition, nouns that take ending. We learned the harfu jar, ism majroor, but we'll have more examples of the ism majroor. For Bilalun fil bayti, Bilal is mubtada, fil bayti shubu jumla khabar. Okay, why is it al bayti? Because of the fi has made it into kasra. Recognize that when a noun is possessed in a genitive case, it also takes kasra. Okay, for example, هذا مفتاح البيت. هذا is a mubtada, and khabar is, what is the khabar here? Miftahu. Why is miftahu khabar? Because miftahu got a dhamma. Wa huwa mudaf ilayhi. It is also mudaf, and what that follows is mudaf ilayhi. Okay, we have taken this concept already, brothers, but we'll have more of these concepts as we go along. Okay, so some nouns that we're going to learn inshallah, their ending is unchanged. Okay, doesn't matter if harfu jar comes or something comes in front, they will stay the same. Okay, for example, هذه أمريكا, this is America. Okay, أنا من America. Okay, so I am from America. Okay, in that case we said harfu jar ism majroor, right? But is it not meant to be Ameriki? Yeah, but this is something it's going to stay as it is. What you call it's going to stay as it is. Okay, name of countries. So this is an exception to the rule that we learned. Certain things doesn't matter what comes in front of it, is not going to change. All right, which is called mabni. Okay, so it does not change. Doesn't matter what comes in front of it. Okay, it will stay as it is, and there are loads of them. Okay, we'll learn them slowly as we go along. Okay, and then we have more what called zarf, and we got more preposition. We're going to be learning khalfa, amama, min. We've learned these ones, but these are going to come more in more descriptive form. Okay, for example, al baytu khalfa al masjidi. Can we translate this without looking? Al baytu,
the house.
The house. Khalfa,
behind
the masjid. Okay, can we break it down? Where is our muftada? Al-baytu. Good, mashallah. What is khalfa? Zarf, right? Yeah. Wa mudaf, and al-masjid is mudaf ilayhi. Okay, remember that one. Okay. So hamidun amam al-masjid, the same thing applies. Okay, I'm not going to too much into detail. This is just a learning objective we are looking at. Then learn the verb jalasa. What's the verb we have learned so far, brothers? Remind me. Which verb have we learned? Two verbs we have learned so far. Come on, brothers. Come on, remind me. What are two verbs we have learned so far? Sorry? Kharaja, we learned kharaja, yes. Okay. And tilka is not a verb. No, tilka is not a verb.
Oh, I know this. Kharaja and it's he left, isn't it?
Dhahaba is the first one we have learned, right? Dhahaba. Okay, and we also learned kharaja. Yeah, these are the verbs that we've already learned. All right, and we also learned. Now we are learning jalasa. Okay. What is dhahaba? He went.
Yeah.
Okay. And kharaja, he left. And jalasa, he sat. Okay. He sat. What we're going to do, brothers, one day, inshallah, in the next few lessons or so, we will have a dedicated lesson only on verbs. Okay. Only on verbs. Okay. That day, that lesson, inshallah, we're not going to look at anything else, but just we're going to look at verbs. Okay. So important that we look at verbs and understand verbs right from now. Okay. Aina jalisun Muhammadun jalasa amam al-mudarrisi. So for example, look at this. Let's look at this sentence quickly.
What was the third?
Jalasa. He sat. Okay. Let's look at this sentence out of interest. Jalasa. Aina jalasa Muhammadun. Where did Muhammad sit? Okay. So look at the answer. Jalasa amamal mudarrisi. Okay. So jalasa amamal mudarrisi. Okay. That's this sentence here. Okay. Can we do analysis of this sentence? So if it's a verbal sentence, what are the two things we are looking for? If it's a verbal sentence,
the verb.
We are looking the verb, yeah. Fi'lun and fa'ilun. Okay. So fi'lun is where the action, and fa'ilun is the doer of the action. Okay. So in this case, jalasa. Okay. So jalasa is a fi'lun. Where is the fa'il? Doer of the action. Doer of the action is Muhammad. Okay. So in this case, the doer of the action is mustatir, which means we can't see. Okay. We can't see, but the doer of this action is Muhammad. Okay. Muhammad is the doer of the action. And amamal مسجدي أمام ظرف. Okay. وهو مضاف إليه. أمام sorry not مسجدي أمام المدرس. Okay, he sat in front of the teacher. So a lot of the time in the sentences, if it's a verbal sentence, sometimes you will see the doer of the action, okay, and sometimes you will not see the doer of the action. It's called mustatir, okay, which is not visible. Okay, in this case it's not visible. But if I was to say jalasa Muhammadun amam al-mudarrisi, is it okay? Muhammad sat in front of the teacher. Is it okay?
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, that's right. So if I was to write Jalasa Muhammadun Amam al-Mudarrisi, is nothing wrong. So I've written the fa'lun, the action, and I've also written the doer of the action. Amam al-Mudarrisi, in front of the teacher. Okay, so it's perfectly fine. But most of the case, you will not find the doer of the action. As in this case, Jalasa Amam al-Mudarrisi. And the other thing is because they've already introduced Muhammad here. Yeah? See, you cannot use a pronoun unless you told us about the noun. Okay? Okay? Does that make sense? If you just start using a sentence with a pronoun without telling us about the noun, would that make sense? Yeah? So for example, I came to you and say, he went to school. What's going to be your question? Who is the he? Who are you talking about? Yeah? I have to come and tell you about someone, about the brother Ali, yeah, who came to Maghrib Salah. He went to school. Does that make sense? It does make sense. Because I have to tell you about a noun first before I do pronoun. What is a pronoun in English? A word that replaces a noun. Okay? So for example, we've got Muhammad, he. We've got Amina, she. Correct? Okay? We've got Ali and Muhammad. What will that become? They. Okay? They in dual form. Okay? We got Ali, Muhammad, and then give another name. Yasir. 3 of them. They are plural form. Correct? Likewise. That's why we have got our 14 pronouns. Okay? Brothers, our pronouns has to be really good. Alright? All this structuring sentences, this and that is going to follow. The more we are fluent with our pronoun, the more stronger it's going to get. Okay? So inshallah in this lesson we're also going to learn America. Okay? Yeah? And Iraq, these mustashfa. This is a new word we're going to be learning. Yeah? Mustashfa. Something unique about this word. Mustashfa. There is a yab which is not pronounced. Okay? Aliful maqsura. Mustashfa means hospital. Okay? Then Sikinun. Then also Swisra. Swisra means Switzerland. Okay? So these names of these countries, it will stay the same. They do not change at all. Okay, brothers? So now, before we start this chapter, I want to get started with something called Badal. Okay, we need to understand the concept of Badal first before we go into this chapter, inshallah. We will see how far it goes. If we think that the concept of Badal is too hard for us, then inshallah we may even go to the chapter in the next lesson. It's just coming up, loading now. So here we have Badalun. Okay, Badal. Badal means substitute. Okay, substitute. Now, in let's go, in football, what happens? Do we have substitute? Yeah, okay. So for example, Muhammad is playing, right? So now, Muhammad, say for example, has to go for some reason, he's injured or he wants to retire. So now Ali comes in. So what happens to Muhammad? So what happens to, who is Ali? He's substituting Muhammad, yeah? But Muhammad is still playing, Muhammad's role is still in the match, right? Is it clear? So in a match, in a team, for example, we got Muhammad here who's playing. Now for some reason he has to leave the field and he's getting replaced by Ali. Okay, Ali. Now Though they are getting replaced, their role is still there. Okay, is still the 7th or 8th player. Okay, so something here is getting replaced. Now let's look at the sentence that we have. Okay, al-baytu jadidun. Okay, we're familiar with the sentence? Yeah, we've got al-baytu jadidun, al-baytu is mubtada, and then what you call jadidun is khabar. Yeah, al-baytu, what we got al-baytu is a marfu, jadidun is marfu again, mubtada khabar. The only thing difference is al-baytu is definite because alif and lam exist. Okay? Yeah? This is easy stuff now. This is easy stuff, you know? Yeah? My sheikh used to say halwa puri, you know? Does anybody know what halwa puri? Okay. In English, piece of cake, okay? Okay. And then look at the other sentence, haza jadidun. Okay, this is new. Okay? Haza jadidun, haza is mubtada. Why haza hasn't got alif and lam? Haza hasn't got alif and lam because haza is definite. Okay? By nature. Jadidun. How do we know jadidun is khabar? Because it got, what is it? Marfu. Your brothers, your indication of something being mubtada or khabar is your marfu. Your marfu state has to be there. Unless your mubtada is definite. Okay? As in the case of haza. But now, the first one we translated as the house is new, right? Because al-baytu, the house. Yeah? Jadidun is new. Now, in the second case, what did we have? This, what do you call? Hada jadidun. This is new. Okay? This is new. Now, in this case, we don't know. We're just saying something is new. Hada jadidun. Is it a complete sentence? Hada jadidun. This is new. It is a complete sentence. Haza is mubtada. What's the problem? Haza is mubtada and definite as well. And jadidun is khabar. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. But now look what we are doing. Okay, by introducing something called badal. Okay, so hada jadidun and then al-baytu jadidun. We're mixing the two to make a sentence. Hada al-baytu jadidun. This house is new. Okay. So when we said the house is new, we are referring to a specific house, all right? Al-baytu jadidun. But now we are saying hadha al-baytu jadidun. This, and then al-baytu, we know the house is new. Okay? Hadha al-baytu jadidun. Okay? So what we are doing, a badal is a definite noun, ismu ma'rifatun, following a demonstrative pronoun, ismu ishara. Okay? So now we are saying this, but now we're telling something more about this. Okay, so in this first case we said hada jadidun. Now do we know what is jadidun? Do we know? Something is new. The next question we what is new? Yeah. So but now if I make a sentence, say hadal baytu, this house is new. Does that make more sense? Yeah. Now if I say hadal qalamu jadidun, this pen is new. Yeah, does that make sense? So now two things to notice. Yeah, so if haza is followed by a noun which is called alif and lam, that is called badal. Okay, and you will translate it with this house. Okay, this house. Now we are specific about something we are talking about. Okay, so something very important, brothers, as it says here, a substitute is definite. Okay, so badal is definite. Has to be I have alif and lam. If it doesn't have alif and lam, then there's no badal. Okay, so remember this bit is very important. I would say for everyone to circle this. Yeah, or write it down in your notebook. That a badal, for something to be badal, has to be definite. Has to have the presence of alif and lam, following a demonstrative pronoun. Okay, has to be a demonstrative pronoun. So two conditions for badal. A badal has to be definite. Number two, it has to be followed by a demonstrative pronoun. Okay? If I just, for example, put Muhammad here, would it be badal? Would it be badal? If I take the haza out and put Muhammad, would it be badal?
What do you mean? If you took the haza and replace haza with...
Yeah, if I replace haza by Muhammad, just for argument's sake, would it be the next one be badal?
No.
No, it cannot be badal. Okay, so for us to put a badal, the condition,
pronoun, yes.
the word before it, yeah, has to be a demonstrative pronoun. So it has to be a hada, hadihi, okay, or dhalika, tilka. Okay, so the easy way to remember, the minute you see hada, hadihi, dhalika, tilka with something that has alif and lam, automatically it is badal. Okay, badal. Okay, so I know today the first day we are getting introduced to this concept of badal. All right, but as we go along, inshallah, it will become easy for us as well. So nothing to worry about. Okay, so now let's look at from badal. We're going to now inshallah go look at the concept of naat. All right. All right, we discussed naat and manut, right, in our previous lesson, but we just touched on it. Okay, so now inshallah we're going to look at naat in a bit more description. Naatun, naatun. Okay, now naat is called adjective. All right, let's have a look in English, brother. What does adjective mean in English? A word that come, brothers. What if your kids were asked you, Daddy, what's the adjective? What do you say to them?
You tell me.
Yeah. What is adjective now, brothers? Come on, I should be teaching you English grammar now.
Noun.
Yes. Say that again.
Clarify the noun, isn't it?
Something that describes the noun. Yeah, describe the noun. For example, you got a book. Book is a noun. Book is a noun. But we say blue book. Yeah. So for example, Muhammad is a tall boy. Okay, Muhammad is a tall boy. So tall is the adjective and boy is the noun. Okay, anything that describes a noun. Okay, now for example, this is a red Quran. Where's the noun here? Quran. And red is the adjective. Yeah, which is describing the noun. English grammar can be fun as well, Unfortunately, in a way, I don't know how it's taught in school, but the way it's taught in school, nobody enjoys it,
Or remembers it.
Huh?
Or remembers it.
Yeah. But so now look at this. A new house. Okay. So in English, for example, when we say a new house, okay. So new comes first, alright. Adjective comes first, alright. And then the house comes, noun comes after. Isn't it? Everyone agree with me?
Yeah.
A new house. Okay. So we say something about the noun first before we introduce the noun. Okay. But in Arabic, it is the other way. Nouns come first, and what you call adjective, which is not, comes later. Now, okay.
Like active voice, passive voice.
No, active and passive. We are not going to that one. It is coming. It's not active and passive voice. It is there. It will come by later on in book 3. Okay, we're not going to. We're just looking at basic sentences now. Okay, book, new book, old book, that kind of stuff. We need to we are building at this building stage. Okay, so baitun jadidun. Okay, a new house. So first thing we need to know, brothers, in English, we have the adjective first, then the noun. Alright? But in Arabic, it is the other way around. Noun comes first and naat comes after. So look at this one. Baytun jadidun. Okay? Baytun jadidun. Okay? So let's see what it says on the left. A noun that describes a qualified noun is called naat. Okay? So a noun that describes or qualifies another noun is called naat. So anything that describes our noun, tells us something about the noun, is called naat. Correct? And on the other hand, noun being described or qualified is called manut. A simple word is the noun that you're talking about. Okay? Any noun that you're talking about. Kitabun, baitun, sarirun. Alright? Any noun that you're talking about, That is our noun on the side, which is manut, okay, man'ut, and when we describe it, then that becomes naat. Okay, so let's have a look what's written here. What you call manut, it is also called mawsufun. Okay, oops, what did it it is also called mawsufun. Okay, so it's also called mawsufun, man'utun, noun qualified. So it's got two names, okay? But it's mostly known by man'ut. Man'ut. Remember this, brothers. I know too many things to do. We have badal and now we're having man'ut. Okay, just remember these, okay? All right? And naat is also called sifatun, okay? Sifatun or na'tun, okay? Have you heard this word sifatun anywhere? It says sifat.
Asma Sifat.
Yeah.
Is it the same?
Yeah,
Asma
the description. So the name of sifat. Sifat, you know, the names of Allah. Yeah. So in the Arabic, naat adjective comes after manut. So this is very important, brothers. When we are translating, right, we need to remember that it is the opposite of English. English, adjective comes first, noun comes after. In Arabic, it's the opposite. What you call adjective comes after the manut, which is the noun. In English, the adjective comes before the noun qualifies. Okay? Alhamdulillah, we have understood that one. Anyone got any question? Anyone got a question at all? So is the concept of badal clear so far? Clear?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, when we go in the lesson, inshallah, we'll have more description of badal, so that should inshallah make it clear. And the other thing, naat and manut. Now, naat and manut has got 4 conditions, all right? 4 conditions. I'm not going to take it today because it might be too much. Next class, just try and understand what naat and manut is today. And next week, we'll look at the 4 conditions of naat and manut. Okay, so we got a darsu al-thaminu. Okay, darsu al-thaminu. Okay, so lesson number 8. Okay, so now, brothers, what we're going to do is for our convenience purpose or for our learning purpose, every time we have a mubtada, all right, just put a line after mubtada. Okay, even if you know it, just in your books, every time we got a mubtada, we're just going to put a line after it. Okay, a straight line after it. Okay, when we go through the lesson, and wherever we have our khabar, we're going to circle it. Okay, correct? We might say like, oh yeah, I know the mubtada and khabar now, but you know, the easier we find to do mubtada khabar business, right, the easier it's going to get for us to understand. So this is your book, all right? Make the most use of the book in terms of circling, writing notes, this and that. No, interestingly, the other day I was listening Imam al-Nawawi. You know who's Imam al-Nawawi? Yeah, the 40 hadith, yeah, or Riyadus Salihin. There's some of the books. So what he did in his notes, he wrote so many notes on the side from his teacher, all right? And from that notes, they ended up making the book and description. So, subhanAllah is a great work, you know. And Imam Nawawi died at the age of 40. At the age of 40, he passed away. Imagine, you know, in that little time, he did so much service for Islam. Now, you know, he passed away a long time back. But today, we're learning 40 hadith, isn't it? Whenever you go to learn hadith, what's the first you do? Arba'in al-Nawawi. That's the first thing we learn. All right? And then Riyadus Salihin, one of the greatest books ever of hadith, compilation of hadith. Subhanallah. So make your notes, make lots of notes, as much as you can. Okay? So where we go? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We are not reading Quran, but we start in the name of Allah. Okay. هذا الرجل تاجر وذلك الرجل قبيب. Okay. So have we noticed some difference already? Yeah. Where is our Mubtada?
هذا.
Hada. Can everyone put a line after Hada? Good. Straight away. Okay. Now what's happened after that? هذا الرجل. Sorry. هذا الرجل. Where's الرجل?
بدل.
Hada followed by alif and lam. So it's going to be الرجل is what?
بدل.
Badal. Badal. Automatically Badal. Okay. So if you want to do something for Badal, you can. Alright, or just write a B on top because we're just getting introduced to al-Badal. Okay, but remember the reason. How could I say for example, I didn't know anything in Arabic. How would I know that ar-rajul is Badal? Because in the beginning, starting is a demonstrative pronoun, and followed by demonstrative pronoun is something that's starting with alif and lam.
Yeah.
Alif and lam. Say for example, that ar-rajulu was rajulun. Yeah, then that would not be Badal. Yeah, the presence of alif and lam is telling me that it is Badal. So هذا الرجل tajirun. What is tajirun, brothers?
Merchant.
Merchant. But what is it?
Oh, خبر.
Khabar. How do we know it's khabar?
مرفوع.
Marfu. Yeah, circle that one. Okay? Anybody tells you, wait, say, well, how do you know this is khabar? Why? Because tajirun is marfu. Okay? You know, this is very important. Why, brothers? I emphasize that we learn with fatha kasra dhamma. Okay, Arabic is not our language. Okay, we haven't grown up. You know, if somebody who's born as an Arab, like born in an Arab family, the meaning they're born, they're speaking Arabic. You know, they're speaking Arabic. No, they all know all these things by heart. You know, if same with us. You know, our kids are born in this country and then they speak English like from day one. You know, and we started speaking Bangla from day one. You know, we know these rules and regulations, isn't it? But we are learning, so we need to know Dhamma Fathakas. Okay, so Hadha Rajulu Tajirun. Alright, how can we translate that? This man is a merchant. This man is a merchant. Okay, this man is a merchant. We are talking about somebody specific. So this man is a merchant. Wa harfu akfin. Yeah, this is a conjunction, and then we got wadhalika and that. Okay, so we had hadha and now we're having dhalika. Dhalika is a mubtada number 2, or you can say mawtufun ala hadha. Okay, linked to hadha. Okay, wadhalika rajulu, and that man is tabibun. Okay, you can circle dhalika again. Now put a line after dhalika, so we know there is mubtada number 2, or it is linked to hadha. And then hadha rajulu. Rajulu is badal again, and why is our khabar? Tabibun. Okay, if you're saying tabibun is khabar, what's your evidence behind it? Marfu. You see, brothers? Nice and easy. Subhanallah. Now, so we got hadha rajulu tajirun. This man is a merchant. Wadhalika rajulu tabibun, and that man is what tabib is? Tabib is what, brothers?
Doctor.
Good, mashallah. Okay. Now we got in the second sentence, we got a bit of twist here. Okay. Ismu tajiri Muhammadun. Ismu tajiri. Okay. Ismu tajiri. Okay. So where is our mubtada here? Ismu tajiri. How do we know ismu has mudaf? How do we know? Sorry, what is our mubtada? Sorry, mubtada? Ismu. How do we know it is ismu? What's my physical sign? Marfu. Good. So ismu is marfu. Okay. So that's the reason it is mubtada. Correct? And wahuwa mudaf. Mudaf as well. Yeah. Ismu. And at-tajiri is mudaf ilayhi. Okay, so it's a mubtada and mudaf ilayhi. Okay, Muhammadun. What is Muhammadun here, brothers? Khabar. How do we know it's khabar? Marfu. Correct? It's easy. Well, marfu is what we need to look for. Remember, brothers, at this point we are only concentrating on marfu and majroor, nothing else. Okay, don't worry about mansoob for now. Okay, so marfu is up, and if you're saying, oh, this is majroor, something has to come in front. Okay, harfu jar has to come in front, or zarf has to come in front. Okay, so easy sentence, and wow, harfu atfin, Ism wasmu tabibi. Be careful here. It's wasmu tabibi. No ismu. Wasmu tabibi. Wasmu tabibi. What do you call? Sa'idun. So name of the merchant. Name of the what do you call?
Doctor.
Name of the merchant is Muhammad, and name of the doctor is Sa'id. Okay. Sa'id is a name basically. Why is Sa'idun? Because it's the name of a man. Okay. Name of a person. Okay. هذا البيت للتاجر وذلك ذلك البيت للطبيب. Okay. Now what has happened in here? Okay. هذا البيت. هذا is مبتدا. البيت we are now, because it's got alif and lam. Because it's got alif and lam, we know it is alif and lam. Because of the existence of alif and lam, we know it is badal. Okay. Then للتاجري. للتاجري is harful jar. So we got harful jar ism majroor. Inshallah. We're going to finish in 5 minutes, inshallah. للتاجري. Okay, so هذا البيت للتاجري. This house, how can we say للتاجري?
Belongs to
the merchant.
The merchant, yeah.
Merchant. Because li has come, belongs to. Okay? Belongs to للتاجري. We're going to try and finish this up to here, brothers, yeah? Okay? وذلك البيت للطبيب, and that house belongs to the doctor. Okay? Now, we are going in this sentence, we got a zarf. بيت التاجر أمام المسجد. House of the merchant is in front of the masjid. Okay? So بيت is a مبتدا وهو مضاف مضاف إليه. أمامه. أمامه is your zarf. Okay? Yeah? Is your zarf. Yeah? أمام المسجد, in front of the masjid. Okay? Okay? أمامه, so zarf, and this is also مضاف مضاف إليه. Okay? Correct? وبيت الطبيب خلف المسجد, and the house of the doctor is behind. Behind the خلف المدرسة is behind the school. Okay, we should be used to these words by now. Okay? لمن هذه السيارة? To whom belongs the car? ولمن تلك? Okay? Remember, liman, I think we have already used the word liman. Okay?
Yeah.
To whom belongs the car? Okay? هذه. Look at this, it is هذه, not هذا, because sayaratu is feminine.
Yes.
So liman هذه السيارة ولمن تلك. Okay? So there are two of them, one is close by, one is far away. Okay? So that's why we are saying liman هذه السيارة ولمن تلك, and to whom belongs the other one. But we are referring to two cars. One is close by, one is far. Just remember, it doesn't say ومن ولمن ذلك ولمن تلك. Okay? هذه السيارة للطبيب وتلك للتاجر. This car belongs to the doctor, and that belongs to the merchant. Okay? هذه السيارة, this car, هذه السيارة من اليابان, this car is from Japan, وتلك من أمريكا, and that one is from America. Okay? We're going to quickly do this. هذا السيارة, هذا is a مبتدا, and this is a badal. حرف الجر اسم مجرور من الياباني. Okay? وتلك, y is حرف عطف, تلك is a مبتدا number 2, or you could say معطوف على هذا, من حرف الجر أمريكا. Okay, something circle America, though min has come, the spelling of America has not changed. Okay, America still stays the same. Yaban changed, yeah, min al Yabani, it taken a kasra, but America did not change, it stayed the same. Okay, so brothers, is only thing that got introduced in this chapter is badal. The rest of these vocabulary and words are that's something that we are already familiar with. Okay, so nothing to worry about. So brothers, what I would like to do for homework, I would like everyone to answer these questions. Okay, so can we circle the one? Yeah, so homework, we've done the chapter, and answer to these questions will be in the context that we have studied, inshallah. Don't try and do the work, but if you don't get it right, don't worry about it. Inshallah, we will discuss the answers in the class. Anyone got any questions?
We do all of it, or just this?
All of them, yeah.
Okay.
I would like you to write the question and then the answers.
This one and this one, or just the?
No, just this one, just this one. Okay, up to what? 7.
Okay.
Okay, inshallah.
Question, answer, and
Okay.
translate. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
And translate in English as well. You want us to write the?
No, just do
Just
question and answer. Okay, no need to translate. We will translate in the class, inshallah. So, inshallah, we're going to finish here. And we got any question? Okay. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.